The massive bank of lavender along one side of the pool was dark and dense against a blue-black sky filled with wind-blown stars. Wine is inevitably linked to a place, tasting of the seasonal vagaries of sunshine and rain, the particularities of the soil, the differences in the taste of oak that hint at which forest yielded the trees for the fermenting barrels. I sat on a low garden wall by the pool and breathed deeply, getting quietly drunk on the calming smell of lavender and the velvety smoothness of the wine. But even the heady fragrance of the garden couldn't overwhelm the scent and taste of Virginia as I drank, dissolving time and space until the wine finally seeped into all the hidden paths that led to my heart. Though I'd become comfortable and easy with my life in France, I wanted to go home again and rebuild my car-wrecked past. Through the open kitchen window, I heard the phone ringing. At this hour, it would be for Philippe. I let it ring. The caller was persistent. Finally, I went inside, bringing the nearly empty bottle and my glass. I sat in a high-backed rush chair and picked up the phone mid-ring. A man's irritated voice said in English, "God, there you are. It's about time. I've been calling for 20 minutes. How come your machine didn't kick in? What took you so long to answer?" It wasn't 20 minutes. You know we don't have a machine. I was outside. "Nice to talk to you too, Eli," I said to my older brother, glancing at the kitchen clock. It read 2:35 a.m. Not the usual hour for a social call, even if he was phoning from America. "I have some news, Lucie." His voice was slightly less sharp. "What is it?" I poured the last of the wine into my glass. To get through this conversation, I'd need it. Eli and I have not been on the best of terms lately, so we don't spend much time on chit-chat. In fact, we don't spend much time on anything. The last time I spoke to him was 3 or 4 months ago. Or 5. The fact that I've been living in the south of France for the past 2 years has made this chasm something we can blame on the Atlantic Ocean, pretending it's physical distance, not an emotional divide that accounts for the estrangement. "It's Leland," he said. "He was out hunting. There was an accident." "How bad?" I asked. But it was very bad, obviously, or he wouldn't have called. "He's dead." My brother's heroes came from all the violent action movies he watched as a kid, full of emotionless men without tear ducts. Armageddon could be looming, but they could handle it no sweat because they were tough, just like Eli was acting right now. So I was surprised when he added gently, "I'm sorry, Lucie." "What happened?" I reached for my glass with an unsteady hand and almost knocked it over. I caught it just in time. "He was alone out in the vineyard. He had his shotgun with him, so he was probably taking out a few crows. No one's really sure what happened, but we're thinking the heat might have gotten to him," Eli said. "He passed out, and the gun somehow went off." I tipped my head back and drank the blood-red wine, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand. No way. Even I knew that guns don't somehow go off. You have to pull the trigger. Besides, despite his record on everything else, Lucie Montgomery was never careless when guns were involved. He had his share of bizarre habits, like making his children call him Leland instead of Dad or Pop or Father, but he took no chances when it came to firearms. Who found him? Eli's story didn't quite ring true. The silence on the other end of the phone lengthened beyond the boundaries of normal conversation, as though the line had gone dead. It happened from time to time, especially on international calls, so that on more than one occasion I'd ended up chattering into the flat blackness of a severed connection. "Eli, are you still there?" For the first time, his voice seemed to falter. "Hector. He was out with his dogs." Hector, our farm manager, had been with my family for decades. Next to Jacques, our winemaker, he was the second most important person in the vineyard. He took care of the crew, the equipment, and just about anything else that needed doing. Oh, God. Poor Hector. I suppose I should have said poor Leland, but it wasn't the first thing that came to mind. There's a French proverb that goes, "In water one sees one's own face."